Hello, and welcome to Leave a Light On podcast, a show that looks to tackle the everyday struggles in our everyday lives. It's time to shed some light on it. Leave a Light On podcast is not a licensed mental health service. It shouldn't be substituted for professional advice or treatment. Things discussed in this podcast are general in nature and may be of a sensitive nature. If you're struggling, please seek professional help or contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. Here's your hosts, Shane and Chev.
Yo, how's it, everybody? My name is Shane, one half of the Leave a Light On podcast, and to my other half, welcome, Chev.
Hey, legends. Very, very happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's an exciting day.
It's an exciting day.
It is exciting.
More exciting than others.
Do you want to, let the listeners know what we got planned?
Yeah, well, today we are very excited because today is our 10th episode, Chev.
Yeah, number 10.
Yeah, double digits.
That's awesome. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I'll wait for old mate to calm down.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought we made it?
Yeah, 10
this
episodes,
far?
dude. Can you believe it?
We've had our dramas, don't worry.
No, we've had our dramas.
We've had our dramas, but we've pulled through. We've stuck together.
Yeah.
And I really like to think that we're doing a good job.
Yeah, I've managed to stick it out with you for 10 bloody episodes.
It's been rocky road, but we've mastered it.
I deserve a medal, honestly.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to lie to you. You probably do.
Yeah. But obviously today is a really special episode. To all our listeners, obviously we want to say a big thank you to you. 10 episodes in, it's no small feat for us. We didn't think we were going to get more than 1 or 2 episodes in, so to go 10.
Especially with people getting behind us and actually, supporting what we're doing is incredible. The amount of people that actually have got behind us, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, so today's just a celebratory one, and because of that, spoiler alert, but there's no guest.
No, none today. It's pretty much all about me and Shane today, isn't it?
It's about us because we want to celebrate us and in that celebrate obviously the journey that we've walked up until this point. So today's it's going to be a bit of a kind of just a look back in the episodes that we've done. So all 9 episodes up to this point, some of our favorite moments that we've obviously had with some of our guests and shared with our guests. And then some of the things that Dave maybe shared with us and how we have used that in our lives and
everyday life.
And some of the tools.
Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really, really good one for us. A bit nostalgic in a way.
Yeah, 100% it is.
Yeah, you know what nostalgic means, Chev?
Oh, I've heard of it. Isn't it like the old school where you buy like a Super Nintendo and you're like, oh, that's nostalgic.
Yeah, you're still saying it's nostalgic, but what does that mean?
It means old school.
No, nostalgic doesn't mean old school. Nostalgic is when you look back on something with fondness. It holds a special place. It's nostalgic.
Yeah, well, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for the listeners.
I'm just educating you.
This is why I stick with Shane.
Yeah.
Because not only do I love him, but he helps me out. Every day's a school day.
Yeah. And I've actually got something very special for you and our listeners, obviously, but this is something that you don't even know about, Chev.
Yep.
So you obviously know with our guests that we love to have their own little intro, either a song or something like that. It's generally been a song that we can introduce them with. So, like obviously we had mindful moments with Mel in our previous episode, which was a real cool jingle.
It was awesome.
I think she was still smiling when she left, actually.
I think she had sore cheeks by the end of the day.
And so I've actually made a very special song to celebrate our 10th episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lay it on me. Lay it on the listeners. Man, I'm keen.
So this is...
It's pretty cool you put it together.
Leave a Light On, celebrating 10 episodes of Leave a Light On podcast. You ready?
Here we go.
Here we go. Sit back, enjoy.
10 episodes and we're growing. Stories from hearts just showing. Laughter and tears in the night. We're here to share our light. Voices that rise like sunrise, echoing dreams in the skies. Each moment a snapshot of truth in this journey built for you. Leave a light on, shine it strong. Share your stories, come along. Every episode beginning here, facing our doubts and our fears, hands held tight through it all. Together we answer the call. Keep climbing higher with pride, no need to ever hide. Rise like a beacon so bright, guiding through darkest night. Leave a light on, shining strong. Share your stories, come along. Every episode, heartfelt song. Leave a light on, we belong.
That is awesome.
How good, Chad?
We need to put that, honestly. Yeah. Yeah. That is so good. We need to put that in the file because we're going to have to use that song later on. Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
We have to save that because I like that. That's a good
Yeah.
jingle.
I saw you bobbing your head.
Yeah, I
along.
did. I
Yeah.
love it. It's good.
And you're a bit of a rocker as well. So
yeah.
if you'd bob your head to that, I was give myself a good pat in the back for
Well,
that.
I was actually pretty surprised when you brought that up on there.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it might have been a little bit heavier. But that's actually not the direction I thought you were going to go in.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah,
I like it.
light-hearted, little obviously
like it.
just describing the journey that we've been on about how we're just sharing stories, opening up our hearts and just kind of being a bit vulnerable, as you said, and just creating the space of where people can share their stories and their journeys. And encourage others.
Yep.
And that's obviously the motto when we come to Leave a Light On podcast. So,
Well, that was the whole concept behind the whole thing, why we started the thing in the first place, is to, as you said, share personal journeys with people that struggle every day and, just, light their life up by, getting their word out and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
yeah.
and show their resilience.
Yeah. Let's dive straight into it, Chief.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, after your episode came out, you were a little bit nervous because it was quite vulnerable and obviously sharing this journey that you've been on and even struggled up to fairly recently and still kind of walking that journey. What was the kind of response that you received?
So I had a really, really good response. I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm going to speak out. I had a meltdown at work a couple of months ago and I was in a really, really dark place and I'm only just crawling myself out now. But I'm seeing a psychiatrist and, seeing people to help with everything. But the response was awesome. There was people at work like yourself. You messaged me every day to make sure I was feeling all right. My boss at work, I'm not going to say his name or anything, but he knows who he is. He's a good supporter of the podcast as well, actually. He loves listening to us and, he helped me out a lot. And then also my personal boss, which is who I work for, for Programmed. So she's been awesome too. So I had a really good response. There is some people out there that are willing to help. And as I said, I'm like to think that I'm crawling myself out slowly. You got to crawl before you walk, baby steps, but I'm getting there. And I've had a good response. As I said, I've been seeing a psychologist and a psychiatrist and there's been nothing but positive thoughts. So,
well, that's the key thing. Like you said, I think that's the thing that we've kind of always wanted to get out of this is that people feel that it's okay to not be okay and then want to change.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And that's why I make myself vulnerable a little bit, especially on this podcast, because I want people to know that it's all good not to be all good. That's my whole thing. And it's only been, I think, in the first episode we ever did, I think it was only like the last 5 or 6 years where I thought, you know what, bugger it, I'm going to actually stand up and talk about this stuff because I know that I've seen people, not friends of mine, thankfully, but I have seen people go through people that they know or family members that have committed suicide, and it's an absolute travesty. And I don't agree with that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to say that. Like, there's got to be other solutions to that before it gets to that point.
Yeah,
So,
Well,
hence the reason
we always said that the whole thing is that if we can reduce that stat, make a change, before it gets to a place where that's where you're thinking, then that's the whole purpose of what we're doing. So, I know we've had some real positive feedback from people.
Absolutely.
Either at work or in our personal life or family members who have come to us and have listened to particular episodes and it's resonated with them,
Yep.
And it's just sparked those conversations, which is kind of what we've wanted the whole time and the whole way through it. So I'm really glad that for you, obviously, like you said, it's been a real
it's been
positive
a long
journey. It's a long journey,
long
and
journey, hard, but 100% it's
yeah.
been positive. So,
but yeah, positive and like we've always said, it's the small steps, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly right.
One small step at a time, and eventually those turn into big ones. So
yeah, that's exactly right.
that's great. I'm really, really glad that has been the case for you, Chev, and obviously that you continue to get stronger and stronger every day.
Well, yeah, you'll hear later on in the episode as well as we touch on different episodes, but with Darren, there's been a lot of positive feedback with him as well.
Yeah.
So as I said, we'll get to that later on, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no agenda to this, so
No.
I mean, I'm happy. Obviously, I know we had Maddie Cav on.
Yep.
For those obviously who have followed the progression of the podcast, Maddie Cav's story has really resonated with so many people.
I was just telling you before off air, I've actually had family members.
Family members?
Family members.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, it just sounded like remember the family members.
I probably did do that. I probably did. So I've had family members and friends say that they they were blown out of the water when they heard Maddie Cav's episode, how heartfelt it was. And that was one of their favourite episodes. That's the feedback that I've gotten.
Yeah, he really did kind of allow us to really see that vulnerable side of him. And that's not to say that maybe a lot of our other guests haven't been vulnerable, but there was a real softness about him.
Yeah,
that
that's
kind of came
exactly
through that episode. In fact, it was, one that I look back on with a lot of fondness, and one that I think him and I still reminisce about today. We constly are checking in on each other.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and especially because he's still like, I guess he's doing a lot better than I am. Like I'm still obviously at the early stages, but he's still crawling his way out of that as well. So it's good to check in.
Yeah, he's been a big support with you as well.
Yeah, 100% he has. He has been amazing. He's texted me, making sure I'm all right. He said to me any time of day, whatever. So he's a really good friend to me and you. And it's just a good person to have in your arsenal. Have by your side.
Yeah.
So he's slowly crawling out himself, but he's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing really well. And like I said, I have a lot of admiration for everyone who has shared their story with us, because it's really, it can be daunting. I know we've everyone that has come and sat in with us and has got in front of the mic, and before we started recording, all of them have said, "Yep, I'm nervous."
And it's funny that they say that, because within 5 or 10 minutes of the conversation with us just talking absolute rot to them, they forget the mic's there.
Yeah.
They forgot the headphones are on.
Yeah.
And they've actually said that to us afterwards.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't as bad as we thought.
Yeah. But it was like me and you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be the first one to say it. Mate, I'm not really good with my words, as Shane knows, and I'm very nervous to start off with. But I think as the episodes get older and we get into it a little bit more, we start to find our groove. And I am starting to get a lot more confident. So it's a good thing. So,
what if you had to look back on all the episodes that we've had, what would one of your most memorable moments, I don't want to say favorite, but like one of your most memorable moments be?
One of my memorable moments was, in my personal opinion, would be episode number 5 with Taylor Regan, because I'm never really I love my sports, don't get me wrong, but it was so interesting to hear his side of the story as a professional sports star. I've never heard anything like that before. Do you know what I mean? Like you only see what's on the media. This is what I'm trying to say. So to get his perspective and find out that when you don't sign a contract and you don't have a job, that was that was pretty crazy to me to think.
Yeah.
So where me and you, we could lose our job tomorrow, but we can go get another one.
Yeah, I think it's, I think professional sportsmen, and that goes for any sport in general, they get a lot of flack in terms of, because they earn, some sports obviously more than others, they earn astronomical amounts. Like you look at some of the numbers that NRL players are pulling in, soccer players in America, in England, some of the contracts that they sign, it's like millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And
100%.
everyone goes, oh, like you're earning so much money, and you forget that they're just normal people.
Yeah, that's exactly
They're
right.
just a normal.
Yeah.
But in that, their source of income can literally end in an instant.
And that's exactly right. So what they've got to do, just from what I gathered from his episode, 100% with what you're saying, is they've really got to think ahead. So they can't go into it, I guess you could say, pig-headed, where they go, oh, look, I'm getting 100 grand a year or 200 grand or $1 million a year or whatever it may be. They've actually got to plan that out. So they've got to be thinking, oh, maybe I should be putting money aside into another account, because if I only get a contract for 12 months and out of a job and I've got a family to support. So it was very interesting to hear his side of the story, and how he handled it. So it was good. That was one of my, really, oh, wow moments.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh, wow. So it was good. So, and he was a good guest.
Yeah,
So,
he was great.
Yeah.
He was great. I agree with you. He was. I loved also the fact that like he really was very open and honest about what he was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
From some of he had some really incredible, funny stories as well about some of the guys he played with.
It was good.
Yeah.
He could take a joke, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when I was giving him heaps about.
And that's what I even said in that episode, was that he is such an authentic guy, even on the field. Like he is, as much as, and I think anyone will understand this, is that you can get pretty heated on the field in the moment. But generally, like, you would walk off and he would be perfectly fine. You would have a beer with the guy and there was no issues. Like there was, so he was really like down to earth, humble. He wasn't like arrogant or stuck up. And so he was, I really did enjoy just the rawness that he shared with his journey in professional sport.
That's exactly what you said. Whatever dramas he had on the field stayed on the field.
Yeah.
And he come off and he was a genuine guy.
Yeah. And then just to hear his journey, obviously how it went from, because in COVID, like professional sportsmen took a real hit.
Yeah, bloody oath they did.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of bullshit around that surrounded sports at that time during COVID. So
And that's not to negate or take away from anyone else who went through the financial hardships. I know hospitality obviously took a big hit as well. But yeah, it was just he really has had a career that I think I know he would look back and be really proud of.
Oh yeah, 100%, and so he should be. Like some of the goals he achieved and all that was awesome. So yeah, I personally think that it was just really refreshing to hear his story from a professional point of view, especially because, as I said to you before, like you see the media and the media just like, sorry for swearing, but they shitbag a lot of sports stars, and that's what we see. So to get his actual outlook on everything, it's a little, I reckon it's refreshing.
Yeah, well, I suppose in that industry, you do open yourself up to a lot of criticism because the spectrum of criticism is a lot greater. Whereas if you're at your work, you've only got a very small spectrum of criticism.
And that's true too, and you're not on the media either.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's
that was a good one.
comes with the job, I think.
Absolutely, always does.
What about yourself? What memorable thoughts have you got from any of the episodes really?
Yeah, there was quite a few. One of my favourite ones was probably having old the Love Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Where is he?
He
was
old Dazza. Shout out to your brother.
Yeah, I can't remember which. Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
No, it's not. I just got to find it. Here it is.
There we go.
There it is. Got there eventually.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was awesome. He was awesome. And actually, I was going to touch on that as well before.
Yeah.
I've actually so I listened to his episode 3 or 4 times. And I've actually put some of what he said into play in my relationship at home. Because me and my missus, God forbid, we've had some rocky, some really rocky, rocky
I mean,
stuff.
if you open to share.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So, like, when I went through all my stuff, she was like, got to the point where she was like, didn't know if she could handle it. So my missus, her name's Ashley. So Ash, she didn't know if she could handle it because the way I was, not in a bad way, just more so the fact is that she had kids and then her ex-partner. Don't want to go too much into it just because it's still before the courts and all that, but her ex-partner was dragging her through court and all that sort of stuff. So she had her own dramas going on, and then I had my own dramas going on. So we were like really hitting the rocky road there for a while. But I've actually got in touch with Darren, and I'm actually going to do a couple of personal one-on-one sessions with him, me and Asher. So, and that's definitely, so I've actually got to hit him up later on through the week to see if when he's available to do that. So, yeah, me and Asher are going to get counselling just to make sure we're on the right path.
So that's
So,
great.
yeah,
That's
so,
awesome.
and that is 100% the honest truth. So,
And like we've always said on this show, counseling is not weak.
no, absolutely not.
It is a beautiful thing that I think everyone should experience, because I think you will just benefit and grow from having at least a session. Even if you don't think you have something going on, I guarantee you that everyone has something that they're struggling with.
That's exactly right. We're human beings.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So his episode was really insightful for me.
well, we've actually started communicating a lot more, me and Ash. So it was nothing bad to do with me and Ash at all. It was just the stuff that she had her going on and the stuff that I had going on was clashing. So we were arguing. So we've started communicating a lot more now.
That's this whole thing, is that just wanting that communication between couples. And I think the whole thing was just, from what I can gather, what I took out of it is that, in this relationship, or in our relationships that we have, to have healthy relationships, we need to know how to have healthy conflict. And that goes not only for like if you're married or if you're in an intimate relationship, it goes for friendships as well.
Oh, of course.
You and I often have heated discussions,
We do.
and that's okay. I think it's learning how to do it in a way that is not I don't want to say conflicting. It's more, I suppose, aggressive is the way I'm thinking. Heated, for lack of a better term. It's having open, good communication without the anger and aggression and hotness that comes with it sometimes.
And me and you definitely me, and obviously I've noticed working with you on this podcast, it's been awesome because I still classify you as a very, very good friend.
Still, after 10 episodes.
After 10 episodes. No, I do. I really do. But you're 100% right. I've noticed, obviously not just me because I know I'm hot-headed, but I've noticed that when we have an argument or a disagreement, we both get very hot-headed and we need to walk away. But
And that's okay.
I like to think we always come back together and just be like, you know what? That was bullshit. We shouldn't have done it. All good. Let's move on. And that's what I want to do, especially with this podcast, because I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. I enjoy working with you. I do stupid shit sometimes.
No. Yeah, you do.
I mean, I think our listeners can agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I loved it that he just really did. He brought a real simplicity to how we can really have healthy relationships with our spouses. And I think one of the things I really loved what he said, and I remember it clearly, was you made a comment and you said, happy wife, happy life.
Oh, yes.
And he immediately said, no, happy spouse, happy house.
And I use that at home.
Yeah.
Now. I do 100%. And that is the God's honest truth. I use that at home.
Yeah. And it's good. And I think you need to be careful about using it for your advantage, because I can see you going to your wife and being like, no, it's not about me making you happy. It's about you making me happy.
She's a tough cookie.
Yeah.
She is awesome. She's my rock, but she's right most of the time.
She is.
Yeah, she is.
And I can agree wholeheartedly with my wife as well. She most of the time she is right.
That sucks that we're admitting this on air.
Yeah, and I'm going to get flack for it later, that's for sure. I told you I'm always right.
I was right last night for the first time in history.
But don't you hate it when you are right?
Yep.
And you feel like, damn it, I can't feel vindicated in this because
I
it's so few and far between.
I told my missus I was going to get a banner made up last night. So every time I was right, I'd bring the banner out.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very often.
She wanted, all she was craving last night was a packet of salt and vinegar chips. So you know those boxes you get? Yeah, I'm like, no, there's none left because like our kids eat them. And she's like, no, there's one more packet left. And I'm like standing behind her in the pantry cupboard and I'm going, no. And she's like, damn it. So I'm like, I told you the kids got into them. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
First time ever.
First time ever. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a first every now and again. Hey? So yeah, just I love the simplicity that he avoided, and obviously, it was one of the things that we've spoken about is in a future episode to not only get him on, but to get his wife with him.
Yeah, you mentioned that, which I'm really, really excited about that because it's not just one marriage counsellor, there's two where they can brainstorm together.
But it's also, I think it's very easy, on that particular episode, there were 3 males involved.
Get a woman's perspective.
To get a woman's perspective.
100%, man, I agree.
And I really like that. I really like the diversity and hearing the different perspectives because I feel I can be very objective in those kind of situations where I can be a little bit more thoughtful in that. Whereas I feel sometimes it's still not to the extent where women feel that kind of emotional connection.
Yeah.
And so, as they said, women think a lot more emotionally than men do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I would love to hear that process. And from a woman's perspective on some of the thoughts and the discussions that we had. So I really look forward to having Beck and Darren on.
So do I. I love Darren. Like when I first met him, because I never met him until that episode. He's just big heart.
Yeah,
a hell of a guy. And
Yeah.
I really, really think that we should be getting him back on.
He wears his heart on his sleeve, which is so great.
He is awesome.
And he's got such a passion for just people.
I've noticed that in the first 5 minutes I talked to him.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even know him before that, and
No.
you've like you said, you've developed a bit of a relationship with him since then, and it's been great.
I can't wait, and that's what I said to my missus. Like, I can't wait to. I'm going to message Darren later on through the week and just to see what he's got available. But I can't wait to have a one-on-one session with him, and I think it's going to be awesome. I think he's got a lot of knowledge, and I think he's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, he's
yeah.
great. Moving on. Another obviously really, I don't want to say exciting one, but one that I really did enjoy was ones with Mates, the Mates organization.
How good were they?
Yeah, they were
They
great.
were awesome.
Amanda and Joe.
Amanda and Jay. They were cool.
Shout out to Amanda and Joe. How's it?
How's it?
How's it?
Oh God, don't get him started. No, it's all good. No, they were awesome. So obviously
Such a critical space that they're working in and doing such an amazing job, the Mates organization,
Yeah.
Like we said, they have the 4 different sectors that they're associated with.
Can you remember them?
I remember it was mining, obviously.
Yeah.
There was construction, which was the original one that they were in.
Very good.
There was manufacturing,
Yeah.
I think was their latest, and energy.
Which is manufacturing. You left that out before, and Amanda got on you.
Well, it was the latest one that they had.
That's
yeah.
awesome. No, you did really well.
Yeah.
I think that deserves a clap. Get a clap for that. Amanda and Joe would be.
Oh, that wasn't the clap, but that's a good one.
That's news.
That's the news. Well,
It doesn't matter.
We're
That's
sharing
all
the
good.
news, yeah. Sharing the news.
No, Amanda will be happy, and so will Joe. I think. There we go. Shout out to Amanda and Jay. He
Shout
did
out
well.
to Amanda and Joe, yeah.
No, I just love their organisation. They're 100% what you said. They surround themselves by suicide and stuff like that. So they deal with all that sort of stuff, especially in miners and stuff like that. So and construction workers.
Yeah, I love the
awesome.
resources that they had available for just everyone,
Yeah.
Just able to access all these resources for anyone who was in the industry. Whether it be the helpline that they had. Can you remember the helpline number?
I can. It's sitting right in front of me.
Yeah, what's the helpline number?
It's 1300
Yeah.
642 111.
There you go.
So if you have any dramas, mining, and the good thing about Amanda and Joe as well, they told us it actually extends to families as well, miners' families.
Well, it's not only mining, remember. It's
construction.
It's
energy.
manufacturing, and it's energy.
Yeah, we go all right.
Yeah. So if you're in any one of those industries and you're obviously needing assistance in any way, what's the number, Chef?
1300 642 111. Give them a call.
Give them a call. They have obviously someone available 24 hours a day, and you guys can access. And they've got resources on their websites as well that you can access. Anything from reading material to cool podcasts.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because Amanda messaged me the other day, and I think I sent you the link.
Yeah, you did.
Oh man, we're on there.
Yeah, we're on
the FIFO hub.
We've made it now. We're on the Mates hub.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully you guys get on and listen and
Yeah,
check us out.
making an incredible difference in the mental health industry in the workplace, which is great. And both really key individuals in that. You know, Joe obviously being a field worker, boots on the ground is obviously the way they referred to it, and then Amanda being kind of the driving force
behind it all, which is really cool.
Yeah, and something that we spoke to her about was obviously her degree in suicidology.
Suicidology, yeah.
Yes.
Which is my hat goes off to her. Good on her for doing something like that, and reaching out and doing
It's
something.
definitely something that we would love to investigate more, and because it's like we said, that's the most astounding stat that we deal with is the suicide stats. You know,
Yeah, 100%. So I was actually reading a stat the other day. I was just
just
doing
one particular stat.
one particular stat, and this is actually quite interesting. I found it quite interesting anyway. And I was just doing a little bit of research, and it's 1 in 40 Australians, adolescents Australians, commit suicide every year. 1 in 40, and that's adolescents. That's kids. Do you know what adolescence means?
It's like the teenage years.
Yeah, good work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to test you.
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, nostalgia's good too. That's why. No, but seriously,
Were you feeling nostalgic when you said that?
Yeah, I did. I was looking back.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, 1 in 40 adolescents commit suicide every year.
Yeah. It's
Or
obviously-
attempt to commit suicide every year, which is pretty crazy to think. I mean, I know 40 people is a lot, but 1 in 40 to attempt suicide every year. Yeah, it's pretty upsetting, really. So, but while Shane's ginning around, I'll tell you there's suicide callback service as well. If you are feeling
Get into it.
quite vulnerable and you want to speak out, or you're feeling like you're having thoughts like that, the suicide callback service is 1300 659 467. So if you're feeling vulnerable and you're having sort of thoughts like that, give them a call and they'll help out.
Yeah, well, like we said, the stat in what was it, 2022 was that there were 3,200 and something suicides.
49, I think.
Yeah,
49?
3,249 deaths. Which on average, if you work that out over the span of the year, that's like 9 deaths a day.
Yeah, I know. When Amanda put it like that, because she was obviously telling us about the stats, it was just that blew me away.
Yeah,
It
and that's
was-
not attempted. That is
deaths.
That's deaths.
Yeah, and that's obviously we're here to try and minimise that number. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if we can reach
absolutely.
someone, that'd be awesome.
Creating that awareness, which is what we're doing, and mates are doing a great job in that. You know,
Yeah.
hopefully putting a real big dent in suicide stats.
Yeah, because me and you both know from first hand working as a shift worker, night shift and day shift, and swapping between the two that takes a toll on the mental health. It's messes you up.
Yeah.
It's hard, 12.5-hour shifts. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know we've pulled on resources from the Mates and Mining organization, and we've had them come out to us and obviously advocate for what they're doing, which has been great. So
yeah,
shout out to Mates,
mate. Yeah, shout out to Amanda and Joe.
Amanda and Joe and Mates.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then moving on to 2 of our most recent ones that we had.
Yep.
Which were just incredible stories.
Yeah.
Well, the first was an incredible story, and that was Mel McLaughlin.
Yes. Yep.
What a story!
Which
wow.
I was just going to say, you didn't know much on Mel. I got a bit of a backstory, and that was the first time you let me have the reins a little bit. So you were sort of a little bit unsure, but like not in a bad, like just you didn't really know much. So he allowed me to take the reins, and I told you a little bit of her story. And mate, her story was amazing.
Yeah.
Really good.
18
years in the police force, and it was really good because there are so many organisations out there for our veterans, our military veterans, and it was quite refreshing, and it was good to see that she come on to spread the word for our police force, or boys in blue, so to speak.
Yeah, really advocating for kind of. I mean, she said that it has obviously there's been a big push in the industry now to get more resources and more help, and so it just unfortunately wasn't around much when she was there. But incredible stories. Like obviously shared some of the stories that she had in terms of her job, a lot of undercover stuff. Old Rachel, good old Rachel.
Shout out to Rachel.
Shout out to Rachel.
Shout out to Belinda and Mel and Melissa.
It's just just the stuff that you would kind of only see in like movies.
That was pretty cool. It was good. Same sort of thing as the Taylor Regan episode. It was good to see the insight behind it all. And as I said, I'm a big crime buff. I love my crime podcast, love my crime shows, and
just to hear the feedback that she's got and we've got from that episode as well. People just saying like, "Wow, what an incredible story! Didn't know." Really so pumped for the fact that she's advocating for that mental health in that space.
Yep.
But just the vulnerability that she shared in her story.
Yeah.
Talking about like some of the things that she struggled with, how she battles to let people in, like to have relationships, because obviously she battles to trust people.
Yep.
But how she's working on that. So.
Yeah, and that's really good to see her step up and put her vulnerability out there to help others. I love that.
Yeah, all of our guests. I mean, they've all been vulnerable to a point where I think that's what I think our listeners need to understand is that when people come and share their stories with everyone, it's a real vulnerable place that they're putting themselves into, because you're almost showing everyone like a real I wouldn't say weakness, but you might perceive it as a very weak moment in our lives.
Yeah.
And their lives. And so to share that with people that you don't know, there's no faces, there's no names, it's just, you're just sharing it to these people that are listening to your story, and you don't know what the response is going to be or how it's going to be taken. It's a real courageous thing.
Oh, mate, you just hit the nail on the head like it is, because people come in here into the little studio that we have here that we've created for ourselves, and and they spill their guts and all that sort of stuff and try to spread awareness and all that, and you don't know what response you're going to get from the listeners. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully they'll support you, but you don't know. So my hat goes off to all of our guests that we've had so far to put themselves in that sort of in the limelight, so to speak.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like you say, definitely take my hat off. And I appreciate everyone. I mean, they're completely just adding their voice to the cause of what we're trying to do here on Leave a Light On podcast. So, we're obviously grateful and really want to say thank you to every single person who has come on and shared. And that leads us obviously to our most recent one before this. And that was our first.
Can I just throw in there quickly?
Yeah.
When we both said we take our hats off, we didn't actually. We're both wearing hats at the minute. We didn't take them off.
Yeah. Didn't literally take my hat off.
We literally didn't take our hats off.
But figuratively, I take my hat off to you. But that leads us obviously to the latest episode that we had just before this, the start of something new for Leave a Light On podcast.
Yeah, which I am super excited about. It is awesome. We have I know, I see it. Moments, mindful moments with Mel.
Yeah, and for those who haven't obviously heard that, he has a little tidbit of what you can expect, because this is her little.
This is awesome.
This is her little jingle and her little intro into Mindful Moments with Mel.
It's time to align, let your mind be free. Ooh, yeah. It's Mindful Moments with Mel, come groove with me. She's a psychologist, got the knowledge deep. Breathe in, breathe out, let your worries take a leap. Mindful Moments, ooh yeah, with Mel. Feeling so good, got a story to tell. Gonna guide your mind, help your soul as well. Mindful Moments with Mel, in the groove we dwell.
That was awesome. Yeah. And congratulations to you on that, because that was your little baby that you thought would be an awesome idea. And it's awesome. I like it.
Yeah.
Little segment that you
little segment that we've just started. Yeah. What a great kind of just really what I love about it is we've always said that we are not professionals.
Yep.
And so it's purely our opinions. We're just sharing our stories and maybe our thoughts and specific topics. I was just whispering.
I'm having deja vu there.
Yeah. That bloody word, specific.
Oh, God.
But yeah, we're just sharing our opinions. But when you have someone like her that came in, it just added a whole nother dynamic.
It was awesome. I think for people that don't usually ask for help either, she's shed that light on, down I mean, people that are a bit more reserved.
Yeah, I also think she created a very different opinion on what a psychologist does.
Yeah. So a lot of people obviously, think,
Yeah.
like one thing of psychologists, but she's actually exploded it and let people know, no, this is what we actually do, which is, I mean, that's a good thing. Now people can actually really get an idea of what as you said, what psychologists need.
She was just very, obviously that particular segment we discussed ADHD, which was very close to your heart, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But just, I loved the fact that she was so informative.
Yes.
She gave us a lot of real understanding behind the condition, what it entails. Also, what I loved about her explanation of things is that she said every case is so different.
Yep.
And when we obviously have a loved one or someone we know who is struggling in that area, it's how do we knock every other thing out the park to really narrow down that this is what this person is struggling with.
Yep.
Especially when it came to trauma was the
Yeah.
one thing that she referred to.
Yep.
Trauma being kind of showing a lot of symptoms of ADHD, but not necessarily diagnosing it as ADHD.
Yeah.
Because it obviously was the trauma side of things that people were dealing with.
Yep.
And so, I really, for me, that was really eye-opening.
Yeah. It was good to
yeah.
get her professional opinion on everything.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and I'm really, really hoping that the listeners got a good kick out of that episode, and learnt something from it.
You love people getting a good kick out of things, don't you?
I love people kicking stuff.
Yeah, clearly. As long as people don't kick the bucket, then I'm good.
Yeah, maybe. Well, let's say they don't kick the bucket.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
really do think that's it was a super informative episode for people. If you haven't listened to it, and you've just kind of gone onto this one because it was the latest one, I really do encourage you, go back an episode. I would encourage you to go back to the start.
Yeah.
And hear, because also number one, you'll hear how terrible we were at the beginning.
Yes.
And how much better we've got as every episode's gone on.
You know, I'm actually, because I've been listening to a few different podcasts, and I jump from podcast to podcast, and you go back and you listen to some of the episodes and you go, man, this podcast sucks. But then you listen to it later on and you go, this podcast is awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone starts real not good.
Yeah.
They're learning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's growth.
Change right.
Yeah.
We're getting better slowly.
So I encourage you, go back to the start, listen to it, and listen to the journey that we've walked with every single one of our guests.
Yep.
You've obviously shared your story, Chev.
Yep.
I've shared my story to an extent.
Which was incredible, by the way. Just want to throw it out there. That was, if you haven't listened to Shane's episode, his migration from South Africa to here, really good.
Yeah.
It's a good yarn.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
So-
Like a duck, I migrated.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Because it was warmer over here.
No, really, actually.
What, you're a duck?
No, the warmer part.
Oh,
Yes, really, I'm not a duck. The warmer part.
oh right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hotter over there, isn't it? Or is it hotter here?
It depends where you go, obviously.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But where I was and where we are now in Australia, being Newcastle,
Yeah.
very similar.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. So you
Very
wouldn't much
similar.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, if you haven't listened to it, listeners, jump back in episode number 3. It was awesome. Good yarn.
Yeah, it was a good one. And then obviously 10 episodes. Who would have thought? But I'm so excited for what is to come for us.
Yeah, especially like what we were just touching on with mindful moments with Mel. Obviously Shane and myself have got a few little different segments we're going to we got in the pipeline. Won't give too much away, but we've got a few little segments in the pipeline which will be pretty cool. So make sure you keep listening to that. So but it's awesome. I'm really enjoying the 10 episodes. This is awesome, and mate, honestly, I really can't wait to see what happens in the near future with this podcast and what the listeners do. Really hoping they stick with us and,
Yeah. Just want to say, obviously, I know we started off by saying thank you, but I'd just like to end off this episode by saying thank you again to every single person who has listened, who has shared, who has, gained anything from our podcast. We just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the ride with us. Obviously, we appreciate you taking an hour out of your time just to listen.
that's exactly
to
right.
two guys who have no qualifications,
no
in this area,
experience.
no experience, just share our story and the story of people that are like us in order to create awareness, to create healthy mindsets, and also just to bring a bit of light into the world, like we've said. And that's the Leave a Light on goal.
That's exactly right. As long as we touch one person out there, that's made me extremely happy. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It has. And I'm going to end off with one thing.
Yeah, do it.
Celebrate it with a song, obviously.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
play
cool.
our song again.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say before you do that, congratulations again
Thank
to
you.
yourself.
And to you.
Yeah, thanks for listening and please stay with us.
Yeah, and we'll end off, but let's quickly have a quick listen to our celebratory 10-episode song. Get into it, peeps.
10 episodes and we're growing. Stories from hearts just showing.
I see that head bob.
Laughter and tears in the night. We're here to share our light. Voices that rise like sunrise, echoing dreams in the skies. Each moment a snapshot of truth in this journey built for you. Leave a light on, shine it strong. Share your stories, come along. Every episode, heartfelt song. Leave a light on, we belong.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
As I said, put that in the file.
Yeah, in the file.
In
So,
the file.
again, thank you to every single person.
Yeah.
Please keep sharing the story and the message of what we're trying to do here at Leave a Light
Yep.
On podcast. And always remember, it's not weak to speak.
Nope.
If you need help, shout out.
Yeah.
There are so many people out there that are in the same boat as you that are just wanting to reach out and get some help or wanting someone just to see them.
That's exactly right. You know,
And so
we're always here.
we're always here. Yeah, reach out on our socials.
Yep.
At any stage, obviously, Chev, what are our socials? You love doing this part.
I hate this part. No, I don't know. So yeah, we've got Facebook. Check us out there. Leave a Light On podcast. We've also got Instagram at Leave a Light On podcast, and then we've got TikTok, which I don't really like TikTok.
Woo! TikTok.
I'm only doing it, as I said in the last couple of episodes, I'm only doing TikTok because it gets our name out there a little bit further.
Yeah, but being our 10th episode, Chev, I reckon you need to give our listeners something
good.
on TikTok for this.
In TikTok.
In TikTok, yeah. On TikTok.
TikTok. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Yeah, okay. I'll
Okay.
try and plan something either today or tomorrow. I'll do like a little jingle or a dance. Or
Yeah, Chev's going to do a dance.
It's woeful.
Yeah, it'll be good.
No,
It'll be
that's all
great.
good. So,
Check us out on the
congratulations.
socials.
Yeah, congratulations again.
Congratulations to you. And we look forward to more than the next 10, but the next 100 episodes.
Hopefully, if all goes well.
All goes well.
Yeah, all of our listeners, stick with us and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you soon. And remember, be kind to one another. Stay
Stay
safe.
safe. Let's leave a light on.
Hey, thanks for listening. We hope you managed to gain some insight from today's episode. Jump onto our socials and reach out. And until next time, wherever you are, let's leave a light on.